My name's Scott Graham, and I'm a finance broker, and I run a business called Healthy Financial. Um, I became a spending planner about 3 years ago. I've got a history in financial planning, so about 15 years working in the finance industry, and the term I use is elephant in the room. The elephant in the room is that uh, financial planning has a place, mortgage broking has a place, but the bit in between is I spent some time looking for something like this, where people helping people with their budgeting and mapping out. Ironically, a lot of people think that financial planners fill this gap, helping them with their day-to-day money management, but in most cases they don't. So I looked at a few different systems and came across this one. And I've found in the last 3 years that I've been doing it, I've found it to be a really helpful and fantastic tool. In what I do, like I say, 15 years working in the finance industry. So with helping people with finance and mortgages and that sort of thing, it's becoming increasingly important when we go to the bank. The bank is going to want to know not only your asset position, but the bank's going to want to know your income and expenses. So it's becoming increasingly important to have a plan like this. If we can go to the bank and say, here's the plan and this is how, this is the projection for the next 12 months, it's a really, really powerful tool. Over and above that, maybe, it's a really powerful tool for people to know themselves. It's not so much about the money, and I know that sounds silly, but it's not so much about the money, but it's about sleeping at night and not having arguments about money, which is, it's a marriage saver. So, yeah. Who do I work with? I've got a broad cross-section of clients, ranging from high net worth individuals through to mums and dads. Is there a kind of client that this is better suited to? Well, no, not really, because it's whatever your level of income, everyone has the same challenges with money, where the more you earn, the more you spend in most cases, in almost all cases. So that's just the world we live in. So this is helpful and useful across a broad spectrum of people, which is good. What do I enjoy most about the spending plan system? The bit that I really get satisfaction out of is when people have, I call it the aha moment. Most people will have tried budgeting in some form in the past, and when I start to talk about it, I can see their eyes roll. When I show them how this works and say, well, this is not backward looking, this is forward looking, so it doesn't matter what's happened in the past, you're projecting out forward, so you know when, where and how each of your bills and things will be paid. That's where this system comes into its own. So as I explain that, when people get it, the look on their faces when they go, oh my God, I can, we've never got enough money at Christmas, for example. We can work that into our plan and they can have money available at Christmas. So no more maxing out credit cards and stressing about money at the start of December and all the way through to January, wondering how we're going to get the credit card off the limit. We've planned for it, and it's a really powerful thing. So initially, like I say, after working in finance for a while, I've seen various versions of this, so budgeting and cash flow management systems. Lots of promising. The sales pitch is fantastic with a lot of them, but the actual sort of implementation and application of it, I suppose that the difference between this and most other systems out there is that this is forward facing, so this is forward looking, which is a real point of difference. There are systems that will help you track. There's bank applications that will help you track what's happening and categorise your expenses and all that sort of thing. What they don't do is tell you, how much you need in your account at any one point in time in the future to stay in front of your bills and expenses, which is good. So this has been the missing piece that I was looking for a while in my business. Like I say, with a history in financial planning and working in finance, this piece of the puzzle is really powerful in helping not only my clients but also me in placing loan applications and helping with the living expenses that all the banks and financial institutions are increasingly asking for and will continue to. So we can go to them with confidence and say, well, here's a plan of how Mr. and Mrs. Smith are managing their money, and the banks like that. So that's good. If for anyone thinking about becoming a spending planner, as a person working in finance, I'm a huge advocate of it. I think it's a fantastic thing, and I think increasingly it's going to become more important as part of your due diligence and knowing your client to have a system like this in place, because it's the banks and the regulators, I suppose more importantly, are wanting to know that when I as a finance broker assist people with finance, that I'm not putting them into financial hardship or putting them into finance or loan products that are unsuitable for them. We can definitively, with this system, we can map out the future and say, well, yes, this finance is affordable because we've put it in and we know it works. It's not just a guessing game of, I think this works, or I think based on the 2 or 3 expenses that my clients told me, I think it works. This, we know it will, because we can map out your clients' ongoing expenses. And just on that, I suppose it over and above the regulatory requirement, it's a really useful tool for people saying, can I afford a new car? Can I afford an investment property? We can put those repayments in and project out to say, well, this is going to put you into financial distress and I don't think it's a good idea. Or, yes, we can. Yep, we need, we can work out the car payment and say, well, let's put that in and see how it looks over the next 12 to 18 months or 2 years. With an investment property, we can say, well, let's work out the expenses and let's see what it looks like. So it's a really powerful tool. And I, like I say, after looking for something like this for quite some time, I've been not only pleasantly surprised, but it's become an integral part of my business. So yeah, highly recommend it to anyone thinking about it.